Take 5 with Ricco Vibes, the ultimate in entertainment. Live interviews, social commentary, and so much more. Go tell somebody you're now locked into Take 5 with Ricco Vibes.
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Ricco Vibes, and welcome to another edition of Take 5. I got a very special guest in the building, Miss Tennille. I mean, we know you a couple of different names. Yeah. What do you want to be called?
Tinel is good.
Tinel is good.
Yes, Tinel is good.
Okay. How are you?
I'm doing good. First, thank you.
You're welcome.
For having me. Thank you,
welcome.
first and foremost. So, yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah, I was watching, like, when this man going to be like, hello? But it's okay.
Long overdue.
You've been busy and you've been working. So I've been watching you grinding and do what you have to do. So, yes, congratulations on
Thank you.
Your show, your platform, what you're doing. You're doing an awesome job.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, I've been watching you grow for the last 7, 8, probably 9 years.
Wow.
You went from fresh station all over the place.
Yes.
Talk about your career.
Okay, so, well, for those who don't know, like career-wise, I'm an insurance agent and also a real estate agent.
Okay.
But my passion is this.
Okay.
My passion
Media.
is talking to people, media, being on the red carpet, just networking, just exchanging conversation with others, and just in that moment. That's always been my passion. Actually, I always wanted to be a VJ on MTV.
Really?
And VT. I actually idolized
See,
Rachel.
you're showing your age.
Yes, I actually idolized Rachel from Caribbean Rhythms.
Wow.
Like, I've always like, man, if that's the perfect job,
Yes.
that was it. Like, if there's like, Tinel, if there's one thing you want to do, that was it. Like, I just love the exchange between people in a conversation, just to exchange ideas and have that dialogue. So
Gotcha.
I do a lot of things, but most recently I started a podcast. So that was like my newest venture because I'm like, I'm a great talker. I love to talk and I love networking with people. I do it effortlessly with sales, but there's always something more that you want to do, and I have to tap into what I'm good at and what I align with. So I felt like that was a good time for me. It was not because it was a trend that everybody is doing it, but it was an easier way to create a platform than having a show or having a network behind you. It was easy. It was within my control to say, okay, I can buy equipment, I can sit, I can talk, and that's what I've been doing. So
talk about the name, because the name is very interesting.
So Bitsh You Lucky.
Right.
So it came from a very real raw space. I was dealing with a lot when that name came like this. It was like, man, I'm going through some stuff, and before I lose it, it was like, before I lose it, I'm gonna write in my Bitsh You Lucky journal, because it was that real raw, like, only God knows. Only God knows what I'm going through. Only God knows what I'm feeling. And it was like a Bitsh You Lucky, I don't want to go to jail. Bitsh You Lucky, I'm not, I'm saying Bitsh You Lucky, I'm trying to be a better person. Like the Bitsh You Lucky has so much dots after it that it can fit with whatever we're going through in life.
Gotcha.
So it's not a negative space, it's a space of growth. Because for me, no matter what I was going through, I always try to stay grounded and know that there was always a way out on the other side. So whether it's mental health, and I always want to make sure for everybody listening that this is a platform really under the umbrella of mental health. I know you'll be like, oh, Tinel, well, Bitsh You Lucky is not positive. It's not about the word being a negative space. It's a real feeling of, man, I could have lost it, but I didn't. And
because I was worried about it.
No, everybody. Trust me.
Mostly in terms of the marketing side.
Yeah.
How are you going to market that word?
You know what? Like, believe it or not, like somehow people gravitate towards it.
I would imagine.
People gravitate towards it, and it's like they understand, like, because for me, like mental health, that journey for me has always been so negative, right? And nobody wants to talk about it.
Especially Caribbean folks.
Especially Caribbean people. So when you put a word on top of something that has such a stigma to it, people pay attention. They're like, what the hell is Bitsh You Lucky about? I'm not ever condoning or encouraging anybody to go out there and fight or create drama. It's not problematic. It's supposed to be a space of, I'm going through this, but Bitsh You Lucky. And it could mean to somebody personally, like, Bitsh You Lucky that I ain't gonna whoop your ass right now because, so you know what I mean? Or, man, I'm in a good space, so Bitsh You Lucky. Or even to yourself, like, Bitsh You Lucky, you know what I mean? So, but it's not supposed to be in a negative space. So I appreciate everybody who has been supporting and understand it's not because I'm never trying to push negativity.
Gotcha.
I just want to make sure people understand that we're so much more than our situation.
Right.
We're so much more than our situation.
Talk about your background. You're from Trinidad.
I am from Trinidad, born and raised.
So born and raised there. When did you move?
When I was 12.
12 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you did the whole carnival thing there as well, I would imagine.
Up until I was 12, it was kiddies back then. I graduated primary school. I never made it to Form 1 back in Trinidad. Yeah, my mom actually ran away with us when I was 12. So yeah, ran away. My dad was abusive and my mother. So I always make sure that, a lot of times Caribbean people, we feel like, keep everything close to the chest.
Yeah.
And you don't understand how much your story can help somebody else.
Absolutely.
So from then till now, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I grew up in Trinidad, born and raised. I've visited a couple times for Carnival, but I'm okay with the Carnival. I don't have to go to Trinidad.
Gotcha. Well, you're from Trinidad, so I would think that that would be second nature to you.
Yeah, but I'm also a very realistic Trinidadian.
Okay.
So I'm never like, Trinidad has the best carnival. I'm never gonna put my neck on a block and say Trinidad have the best roti. I'm not one of those Trinidadians. I'm a Trinidadian that's realistic.
Gotcha.
I say it like it is.
Trinidad have the best curry.
Trinidad have the best curry, but Guyana have the best roti. Make
really?
sure, yes.
Okay.
In my opinion.
That's funny coming from a Trinidadian, though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm never a typical like, we have the best of X, Y, and Z. No, we have our strengths. Yes, nobody can make a better doubles than Trinidad. But roti skins, only because maybe back in Trinidad when I was younger, the lady who used to make roti for us was a Guyanese lady who used to live with us, Miss Elsie. So since then, I've always used to the taste, and I can tell the difference between a Guyanese bust-up shot dal puri any day to a Trinidad dal puri bust-up shot.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe because I like my skin very thin.
Got you. I like it a little bit thicker.
See? So you might more gravitate towards the Trini roti because it's thicker.
Yeah.
I like the thinner one. Okay. So, so that's the reason. But I'm not taking away at all from my Trinidad restaurant, from my roti makers.
Right.
I just happen to like Guyanese roti skins better.
So your podcast, obviously, Bitch You Lucky.
Yes.
You've interviewed quite a few people. I've been watching here and there. What has been or who has been your most favorite interview thus far? And I don't want to put you on the spot.
No. I will say that I'm coming up to a year since I started.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's funny because a couple weekends ago, I was sitting on I'm always like a critic for myself. So I told my husband, I said, man, for 1 year, I didn't do too bad. We didn't do too bad because I'm just looking at the different people that was interviewed and backgrounds, and I'm like, man, this was a good collective energy of different people from different walks of life. So it was really good for me to look back now from a different lens and say, man, you know what? Now I see what I want to do on season 2 as I'm gearing up for. But they were also different, Well,
I looked at Uber Soca.
Uber Soca was, I wouldn't really say it was too much into the podcast world because it was very, very difficult to get these guys, pin them down. On Uber Soca
they're in party mode.
Not only are they in party mode, they're in more of a relaxed mode.
Gotcha.
So they're not really trying to interview. So shout out to all my people who talk to me at Uber Soca Cruise, and shout out to Uber Soca Cruise for having me do media and stuff. So I appreciate that. That was my first Uber Soca Cruise. I mean, okay, so if you want to talk about Uber Soca Cruise, one person that always stands out to me, Mr. Killer. On Uber Soca Cruise. And I love everybody. I love Pampa. I mean, College Boy Jesse. Big up to Ricky Platinum. I mean, he was like my plug. He was helping with everything. So I appreciate everybody on the journey because everybody's up in that space for a reason.
Gotcha.
But there was just something about Mr. Killer that I caught him, and shout out to Kevin Crown because Kevin Crown connected that right after his performance. That was the night actually after Ricardo Drew had performed. He was on that cruise as well. So, rest in power, Ricardo. Yeah. So he, it was just something about that performance. Like Mr. Killer is everything you see is what you get. Like he just walks with this like energy and authority of like just he exudes that presence.
Confidence.
Yes, he's so little, but he's so big. Sorry, I'm taller than you, so I could say that. I'm taller than you, so I could say that. But he just good vibes. Like actually, everybody that I spoke to in Uber Soccer Cruise, and I told them they all have this alignment with faith. Like they all spoke about their belief in God and. There's and of course Lyrical. Oh God, please see. Sorry, Lyrical was another great quick interview I had, but it was funny because when I was talking to Lyrical, first of all, his manager, whoever was with him, is like, no interviews, and I was just like, oh my God, listen, I in this shit outfit, half of my bottom hanging out. We gonna get an interview today. So he came and asked like one question, and after asking the first question, he's like, "Oh, good question. Okay, ask another one." And I was like, "Okay." He caught me off guard because I wasn't ready, but it was such a good interview of just people being in dark spaces. And my thing is, I want people to always be conscious of pushing through, the push through, because we all have times when we're in dark spaces. Right. So for Uber Soccer Cruise, back to your question, okay, fine, Mr. Killer Lyrical. Okay, all of them. But on the sit down podcast, sit down, hour running of content, Johnny Blaze. I gotta say, Johnny Blaze was one of my most insightful interviews because I've always been a fan of love and hip hop. From the franchise, from the beginning it came out.
Of course.
And it's good when you see somebody in a space where they're so like at a low space, you're seeing her fighting and popping off and all of this. And then you watch them like years down the road, like you said, man, Tinel, I've watched you grow. And I've watched her grow to where she can have these conversations where she understands, man, it's not necessary for me to pop off. So like people like her is my ideal conversations because it's all about growth. Now everybody else, I don't know what they were doing before. Gotcha. It's not in the public eye. Right. So they could be like, oh girl, I've never went to jail, or I've never slapped somebody, or I've never popped off. I don't know. But in her case, I knew what it was, what her life was like being in the public eye, coming from growing up hip hop, loving hip hop. I've seen her just come from a hothead, Johnny, I love you, to this body of growth and wanting to do better. Right. And we're human. We're still going to pop off. Right. Don't get it twisted.
Of course.
Mrs. Bitch You Lucky does pop off. But we have to keep ourselves grounded for the most part.
Do you understand the platform that we have? Because
Caribbean people?
Not just Caribbean folks, but you're saying it's an in thing now for podcasts.
Right.
But because of the platform that we have, do you understand the magnitude of the platform?
Oh, yeah. And it's crazy because you watch some of the things on social media, right? And you might be like, what the hell? That blew up? Right? You'll sit back and be like, what the hell? And, I always feel like everything is for a moment. Everything is for a time.
So microwave time.
Yes. Yeah. But for me, it's longevity, right? I don't want no microwave thing. Give me the oven. Let me bake, let me marinate, let me sit in there for a while. So I'm never like rushing for the finish line. I'm always like, you know what? I started this. I feel good about it. From whence I start till now, I'm in a way better mental space. I had to actually take time because during this process, there was a lot that I was dealing with personally. So for people like, Tinel, I don't see you recording nothing. I'm like, chill, because I had to take time for me. Because I can't be an authentic person talking to people about mental health and not popping off and hell, I'm dealing with my own stuff. So I had to be like, you know what? It's on cruise control right now. I pull content from when I recorded. I to be honest, I post it and I'm just cruising because right now I'm actually building out a little studio area at my house. But still, but I feel comfortable with what season 2 is going to look like. Right. I want people to be able to come and just be and have different conversation. Like, let's just have these conversations that nobody had because. It's not a conversation we have in Caribbean households at all. Nobody's like, so how was day? What's really going on? Are you okay? How are you feeling mentally? Never. No shade to any Caribbean parent. I love my mom dearly, but we didn't get those questions.
One of the reasons why I do admire your podcast is because of the fact that it deals with real issues as opposed to only the entertainment side of the business. You deal with real life, everyday things that, like you said earlier, no one wants to talk about in the Caribbean household. Yeah. And growing up with an old school mother and old school father, They even barely said "I love you" type of thing.
Ooh, talk about it. Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a thing that I love because when I see you doing it, I'm like, great, we have someone to fill that space.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So yes, I've been, I've talked to Kerry Blingo about yourself.
Shout out to Raleigh. That's my friend.
Exactly. So
in our real life.
There you go. So I've been looking at what you've been doing.
Thank you.
What's
it means
next
a lot coming from you. Because you're no, it does. You're a man on the scene. Mm-hmm. You've always had 10 toes down, doing what you have to do. I've never heard nothing crazy about Ricco. I was like, man,
not yet. Give it time. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God, no. I can't do no other scandals
you're
right now.
always gonna have somebody who's gonna be a critic, so, and I welcome critics.
Always. But I mean, people don't understand that they see all of this. They see you, and they don't understand. For you to do this religiously, day in, day out, after a job, family, no matter how you feel, it's that consistency and that determination that makes a difference. So that's why I have to let you know and give you, you're a man, so I can't give you flowers, but I'll give you your flowers.
I like flowers.
Okay, fine, we'll do flowers. That I like flowers. You've always held it down in a space for us, and whether people understand the importance of podcasts and platforms, I mean, it's only a click for people to know what's going on in the Atlanta scene and Caribbean community here, because I feel like even though we're here, that we could be everywhere, and Atlanta is like the newest, it's like the LA now. Everybody.
Oh yeah. When I moved here 20 years ago, it wasn't.
Oh no.
People say, "Oh, you moved." I was moving from New York. People say, "You moved into country."
It was back then.
It was. It was. Sure. Granted, it was, but I saw the potential.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
What's next for me? I mean, besides making sure that I am well first and foremost. Gotcha. That's first and foremost, because if I'm not well, my kids can't be well. Relationships that I'm in, my husband, we can't be well. So me taking care of me is first and foremost. I'm investing in me first and foremost. Gotcha. Right? Growing my businesses, insurance, real estate. If you guys need any of that, call me. And just the podcasting. And not to call it a podcast thing, not to take any...
Not to belittle it.
Yeah, but it is, it is my passion. It's my hobby. It's something I feel like I'm aligned with. I feel good about it. And just seeing where that goes. I feel like I have the time now to invest in it. I have the time to sit back and just watch it grow. I'm not chasing money. I'm not chasing popularity. I'm just chasing purpose.
Gotcha. Yeah. And you've done work, obviously, behind the camera on radio.
Yeah.
You've been in front of the camera with your podcast and stuff like that. Where you're most comfortable?
I just like the camera. The radio is, I always feel like I have a manly voice.
Really?
Always. Like, even in any job I've worked in, even with my insurance clients, they'd be like, sir, I'm like, whoa, it's me. What do you mean, sir?
Wow.
In the morning, I have a very, it's rough. I have
so you have a morning voice.
Yeah. I don't think I'm the radio person, but I like the camera. I love talking to people. I like on-the-spot interviews. I love just engaging with people in that moment, whether it's red carpet, dialogue like this. I just love having that conversation with people. Okay. As you can tell, I just keep talking.
Yeah, it's okay. What's your preparation like when you have to do an interview?
That's a good question. Yeah. So my preparation is, first and foremost, I always listen to my gospel music. First, on the way here, we was at the top of our lungs. My daughter is here with me. Shout out to Zolani, my assistant manager. I have to say that because she'll kill me.
Oh,
literally.
She's the assistant manager?
Yes.
How old is she?
She's 9.
She's 9. Okay.
Yes. She's my assistant.
We're putting her on the spot. She's shy.
She's my little assistant, because when I'm filming, she makes sure like I have this, that, and the other. But she's like, Mommy, I think that I deserve a manager title. I said, okay, fine. I guess, sure. Give it to you.
A young entrepreneur.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
In the training.
So she's always like my little fan / keeps me, no, I don't like that. I don't like those eyelashes. Listen, it's the camera. I have to wear fake eyelashes. Okay? For the record.
Gotcha.
Right. You have to be glamorous. But so my preparation is prayer first and foremost. I know people be like, but you have Bitch You Lucky. Don't judge me. But prayer, I listen to my gospel music. I definitely smoke. I take a little pull of my little ganja now and then. I do have anxiety, so that's why I have to calm my nerves. So to have this conversation, I had to calm my nerves, yeah.
Really?
Yes. People be like,
you think you do this every day? You think you'd be accustomed to this?
No, the nerves kick in. I've been diagnosed with anxiety I don't want to say suffer because I don't like that word because it kind of like, it's like no hope. Nope. So I don't suffer with anything. I've been diagnosed with anxiety and depression years ago, and I let the depression kind of die out. Thank God for that. The anxiety still kicks in now and then. So like my stomach, my armpits are sweating. You know, I get like in my head space. Like today I had a knot in my stomach. Yeah. So my husband, he's like, oh my God, calm down. I was like, I got it. All to come and see you. See what you did?
Wow.
He made me nervous.
Yeah. I think give it a few years. You know, I was like that 30 years ago when I first started in this business.
It doesn't matter what it is. I always get this nervous thing. And I guess it's because I know I'm an overthinker.
Gotcha.
And I don't want to overtalk, which I feel like I'm doing. But
no, you're not.
It's just being human.
Right.
You know, and I'm okay to say I am fully human. You know, I don't want people to be like, oh, no. Listen, I have my own stuff. I have my days, and I'm trying to always make sure I have good days. So my routine for getting out the house in the morning is a little different before an interview. In the morning, I make sure I meditate. I try to teach my kids the importance of meditating, whether it's 10 minutes, just quieting your mind, keep those thoughts a little settled, just grounding your body. I make sure I fast as well, and I pray.
Let's turn to Carnival for a minute. You play mass, of course.
Yes.
You play for Entice, is it?
So, did I play with them last year? I didn't play with them.
Okay.
No.
'Cause I saw you at the
No,
end.
well, so my daughter is one of the Entice Kids models, so shout out to Entice. Y'all be sure to sign up for Entice Kids. Adult Carnival.
Yes.
This year, I'll probably be on the road with Entice. I'm still trying to debate. Thank you, Keza. Shout out to Keza and Chauville at Entice. Because that is actually my birthday. May 26th, yeah. So I'm debating, like, if I still want to play. But either which way, I always tell people, play with a band that you're comfortable and your vibes, like whatever band you vibe with. So Keza is good people. I've known Keza for years. I mean, shout out to the whole Entice franchise, the whole everybody. So sign up with who y'all want to, but I just know Entice is bringing vibes on the road. So last year I played with We Kind of Thing, but this year they're not on the road. Yeah, right. And I've known Sharon and them for years, like 15 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've known Sharon, Siobhan, these girls for a very, very long time. Back when Ramona was with them before she went to Panache. Yeah. So shout out to all the bands, whether you came out this year or not, because people don't understand the behind the scenes and what it takes to bring forth a successful band and season and making sure everything is executed from A to Z. So whether you came out this year or not, shout out to everybody. I'm always like in support of whatever you're doing. Shout out to everybody.
What do you think about the growth in terms of there's one carnival this year?
That's good.
Thank God.
Yes.
What do you think of the growth in terms of the carnival here versus New York versus Miami and so on and so forth?
Well, as a former New Yorker, I'm not a big fan of New York Carnival.
Not anymore? Or
nah.
You was never
even when I was in New York as a teenager, I graduated high school there. It was even rough back then. It was even rough back then. My family actually, my mom she's at a restaurant, so she used to do the tent with the food, and I always remember it's chaos and craziness, but I just feel like it's not controlled enough. They're just too much. Right. It's sad because it's our culture that kind of gets the headline, like, Atlanta, New York Caribbean Carnival had a shooting or whatever, but it's not, whether it's younger generations or what, they do need to tighten that up.
Gotcha.
I've always appreciated Atlanta Carnival for the safety in the carnival. I am glad that they have one because it's such a small Caribbean community here.
It is.
Everybody know everybody, whether you want to believe it or not. Everybody know everybody. Everybody. So whether you're on the east side, Atlanta, Gwinnett, wherever you are, we all know of everybody. So I am glad that they finally coming together to realize that this is one movement for us here. Because Atlanta Carnival could be one of the big ones, like up there with Miami and all the other carnivals, because we have all the resources here. True. We may not have a beach and water, but we have everything DJs. Else. We don't even need DJs from other states.
Not anymore.
Atlanta DJs is enough. Yeah. No shade to any DJs from any other state, but we got cream of the crop DJs down here. We have venues. We have people who can cook. We got food trucks. We got liquor. We got promoters. We have everybody. Yeah. We really do. Yeah.
How does one get onto your show? Like, how do you decide what topic you're going to cover? And so on and so forth.
I don't ever decide a topic. Okay. I just sit and just talk.
Okay.
I started with in the very first episode. I did kind of have like not a plan, but kind of like an outline of like, because I knew who was coming on. So I was like, okay, I want to do X, Y, Z. And then I'm like, that's not who I am. I've never been a script. I feel like because I'm so anal and particular and a control freak in other areas of my life, this is the one creative space. Like this is my freedom. Like this is my just talk, get on the mic, and just whatever I feel I ask, and I kind of just reciprocate that energy that I get from whoever is on. So I don't really decide on what I want to talk about. Topics is always going to be generalized under mental health. There's always going to be, like a dark time or something you've been through, or, what, like for you, I may ask you like, so what, why are you still here? Like what keeps you pushing? You've been doing this umpteen years. Right. Like what makes Ricco say, you know what, I'm going to keep doing this? Right. Because a lot of people already was like, I'm done.
Yeah, you're right.
And when they don't see what they want, they're like, they give up. They give up right before the finish line. Yep. They don't even know the finish line is so close.
That is true.
So I just kind of vibe and feel it out. So it's my one space of freedom. It really is.
Gotcha. Rum Punch is one of your sponsors.
Yes, shout out to Dragay.
How did you get them on board?
So Dragay, Alan, Ilan, shout out to all you guys. The whole Rockers Limited. Drag and I have been friends for a long time, and I've always, like, even back when I was doing Cultural Vibes with Dwayne, so shout out to Dwayne Newman, even though I can't stand him half the time. He's my brother from another mother. We always fight. We're always choking each other, do something crazy. But even back then, he knew that, I've always like, dude, this is the kind of things that I want to do. So when I came up with the idea of Bitch You Lucky and I proposed it to him, he's like, no problem. I'm on board. I'll talk to the guys. We're good to go. So I'm very grateful. Thank you, Rum Punch, for all the liquor supply, even though people scared as hell to drink. They'd be like, what's going to come out on this podcast? But it's just a good feeling to know you always have support, So I'm always grateful for my sponsors. So Carablingo, thank you so much. My boy Raleigh, he's always been
it's a good guy.
Oh, he's an amazing guy. Shout out to Rawls for all my, sexy shirts. Yeah. I tell him it's too much fabric, man. Give me something with the back out or something, man. Too much fabric.
It's almost summertime, so you're going to need something.
You better come with some spaghetti strap stuff. But, so, and then the Ivy Showroom. It's actually a client of mine from years ago. She does a lot of, like, boutique fashion in the city. So she's on board with, like, Atlanta Housewives and Love and Hip Hop and all these different shows. So anytime I want like a fabulous look, which I never do because it's a comfortable, chill space, but I can just give her a call and go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
how do folks watch the show?
You can catch it on YouTube. I actually had it on like all the major platforms, but because I wasn't recording as much as I should have been audibly, I kind of was like, so I'll just pick it back up on season 2. I kind of like season 2 was kind of like I won't say a trial run, because this is what I want to do, but I needed to kind of throw it out and see what sticks. So now I know, I don't need this platform. I don't need this. I could stick to this. I'm good here. I need to push TikTok more. You kind of gauge, what you want to do. But I'm very, very grateful for all the people who have always tuned in, and the viewership, and people who message me and ask me. But back to your question, how do people get on? It's funny. I just kind of go through Instagram or something, and I'll be like, this will be a person I would like to have a conversation with, based on maybe something they've been through that I know of, or it could be something in the media. It could be something that, the streets know about, whatever it is. It could be whatever it is. Okay. Like the couple people that I've had on always had a story behind them. There was a guy who was on, he was gay from Panama, so it was that pushing through that negativity and growing up as a gay person in Panama like that. Then it was, the real that shorty, shout out to my girl, Guyanese, Indian, from Guyana, doing her comedy, and even like the pushback that she gets from people, and how people are haters out here. Clara, timeless goddess, single mom, dating, trying to find love out here, but the men are not on her level per se, and there's these games, and not being a gold digger, but being able to get her needs met, getting things done, dating out here, that life. Johnny Blaze, I hope I'm not missing anybody. Who else was on? yeah, I think that was it. I feel like I mean, besides the people at Uber Circle Cruise, but like for the sit down, I know it was Johnny Blaze, it was Mario. My brain going bad, by the way, so I a little forgetful. But everybody had their own little story, and again, remember, this is new for me.
Right.
So, like like what your template looks like, so you know. But for me, this was new, so it's like. And shout out to everybody who's been on. Shout out to everybody from the inception till now. Blue, shout out to Blue. Shout out to everybody who's been on.
Do you have a co-host, or you just
It's just me. Okay. Yeah.
Because I think at one point Blue was your.
Yes, so Blue was on. So I brought the idea to her, like, hey, there's something. If you want to do, I'm all game. I'm not like, oh, this is just my thing. It's just for me alone. I'm always open to whoever wants to do something. But I know she has her own brand and, all support, all love there. So shout out to Blue and all her endeavors. But yeah, we kind of had to go our separate ways. So yeah,
it happens. That's the business.
Oh, it happens. I mean, I'm always in support of anybody who has a dream and a vision. Like, let's support each other. Right. Sometimes we can't be like arm in arm with somebody. You don't have to be arm in arm or BFFs with somebody to always wish them well and support them. So
absolutely. Tell them where they can follow you, social media and all that stuff. Well,
my personal is Trinidol, Trinidol 26, because I'm from Trinidad and they say I look like a doll, so I'll take it. And May 26th is my birthday. That's the 26th. Okay. Yes. So Memorial Weekend in Atlanta is always going down. Over. Yes. Shout out all the Geminis, because we are the realest people on this planet.
Capricorns are the realest people. That's
okay. Me. My dad is Capricorn. Fine.
There you go.
So on YouTube, Bitch You Lucky, and it's BITSH. So Bitch You Lucky. Couldn't put the C; it was a little bit too explicit. So
yeah.
So the S kind of
might have kicked you off.
Yeah. So the S has a nice little flair to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Bitch You Lucky. More to come. I'm making sure I didn't miss nobody.
When is season 2 starting? Do you know? Have you started filming yet for season 2?
No, I haven't started filming yet. I'm actually just kind of mapping out the people right now that I've already reached out to. Okay. So I think season 2 we're gonna have a whole different setup.
Gotcha.
We're gonna do a whole different. Just initially coming out with just the ambiance of it and the vibe of it should be completely different than season 1. Season 1, I think. Even though it's a great conversation, not to take away anything from it, but season 2 is growth from season 1.
Absolutely.
For me, I feel like because I'm in a better space that I can have better conversation.
Got it. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Well, thank you. I still feel like I miss somebody.
You're always going to feel like you miss someone.
Like when you're in the awards.
When someone watches, they're going to say, but you didn't mention me.
Yeah, I'm making sure I'm like, like when you see people on the awards and they're like, I want to thank, and they're like, and everybody. Because they're like, I miss somebody. Right. Geez, I feel like I miss somebody. I feel like... Listen, anybody who was on season 1, if I missed you, I'm sorry. My memory is bad. I'm working on it. I am taking ginkgo biloba every day. Plus, my family has a history of Alzheimer's. So, not real talk.
Real? Okay.
Yes. So,
at what age do they start?
Oh, what, like 50.
I know you're in 50 yet.
I'm in my 40s.
You're not 50 yet. So.
Yes. Well, pray for me. There's hope. But I hope I didn't miss anybody. I think I covered everybody. I think I wish I had my phone. I'd scroll through real quick and be like, No, I think I covered everybody because there was so much episodes from each person that I put out. But
did you shout out to your manager, of course?
Shout out to my manager, my assistant manager, my daughter, yes. And shout out to Zaria, who is my editor, but she's a teenager now. She's 18. She's a young lady, so she don't want to do work with her mother anymore. And of course, I have to always shout out my biggest supporter. I have to emphasize on the my husband. I don't know what I would have done between that year without him, because he's always been like that push behind me. So I have to always say shout out. So anybody who have somebody in their life that's a push, an ear, a support, even the slap you need. I'm not saying you slap nobody. Trust me.
But that support system.
Yeah, is that support system hold you accountable and just there for you. Shout out to those people. So yeah. So I have a good crew around me. I have good people, and I'm protecting my peace. So Tennille is not trying. Even though it's Bitch You Lucky, it's not problematic, and I don't do drama.
Well, in that case, I thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I wish you continued success.
Thank you.
I love the first season. I'm looking forward to season 2 and the seasons to come.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes, go ahead.
What's next for Ricco?
Wow. the Flavor Radio and Take 5 is going to be shown in the Caribbean.
Okay, nice.
And that's all I'm going to say for now.
Okay. Okay.
So we have a couple of platforms in the Caribbean that my lawyers are looking at.
Nice.
And as soon as those are straightened out, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, then I'll drop the word.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Shout
congratulations.
out to Victor. Victor is in Montserrat in Angola.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nevis.
Okay.
I was born in Nevis. My dad is from St. Kitts. My mom is from Nevis.
My ex mother-in-law is from Nevis. Yeah.
Okay, so you know Nevis. A lot of folks don't.
No,
know
I don't. No, I know St. Kitts, Nevis, on Tortola, Antigua, Barbuda.
So all
yeah,
of the small islands. They
Yeah.
call us small islands.
yeah.
We are small.
My daughter Zaria's dad is from Antigua.
Okay.
Yeah, my ex-husband. My ex-husband.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you know those small.
I've
island
never
folks.
been. I've never been, but
You need to go.
this
You
year
need
we're
to
going
go.
to St. Lucia for
That's the first time
first time to St. Lucia. Yeah.
for Carnival.
Technically, we wasn't planning on Carnival. It's only because it's the only time allotted for us to travel. Where my mom could come from Trinidad, my sister's a teacher.
Okay.
They offer school July and August. We go back in
Gotcha.
August. July is the
Gotcha.
only month we're all free. So we're like, July. Look at the flights. Shit, this is expensive. Damn. Well, it's during Carnival season. Might as well.
Expensive going to the Caribbean.
Might as well. So we just locked in. So we're excited for that. So
That's good.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
the
to
St.
go.
Lucia Jazz Festival or something, isn't it? I don't know what month is that.
I don't know,
yeah.
but yeah, it's big. Like
huge.
It's huge. So
It's
I'm
huge.
excited
It's huge.
for St. Lucia and just some relaxation, some woosah, and time with the family. So
That's good.
yeah,
Well, have fun.
thank you.
Fun.
This was really good. This was
You're
good.
comfortable, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no anxiety.
No, Rico takes it away. He's like the antidote for anxiety.
It's not. We're just having a conversation. It's not an interview. We just
Yeah,
chatting.
it's really good. This is really good. I'm really proud of you, and
Thank you. Thank
you know, you're doing very good things and big things, and
Thank
you guys make sure y'all support this man.
I appreciate
y'all
it.
don't
And support her too.
understand the work and the effort and the tireless hours of behind the scenes content, negotiating, talking to people, thinking you should just give up, throwing the towel, not throwing the towel, and it's all for y'all behind the camera. It's
And
always
it's for
y'all.
the culture, and because we're not
Yeah.
getting paid for this.
We don't, right? I wish people would
Paid for this.
understand.
Yeah,
we don't
we're not
get
getting
paid.
for this.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It's for the culture.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's YouTube/Ricco Vibes. Also log on to thereggaescene.com as well as theflavorradio.com. And we'll catch you next time on another edition of Take 5.
This episode of Take 5 with Ricco Vibes is brought to you by
Jamaica, me love Jamaica, me not sell out.
Join us in paradise, where 7 miles of white sandy beaches, beautiful people, delectable food, and pulsating music, energy, and vibes is the norm.
Anytime we apart.
Let's celebrate 15 years of making dreams a reality. It's Campari Dream Weekend, Negril, Jamaica, August 2 to 6th, 2024. 5 days of non-stop premium drink and food inclusive events. It's the festival that never sleeps, featuring local and international artists and DJs that leave you breathless day and night. Forget all the stress that life brings for 5 days of fun can done.
My dude.
Come to Jamaica. Come to Campari Dream Weekend. Starting from as low as $300 for 8 events over 5 days with $100 deposit. All events are premium drink and food inclusive. Book now at dreamweekend.com. Must be 18 years or older to attend. Drink responsibly.